Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made, wait for it, this rather lovely Johnny Depp, maybe, Gary Oldman, Dracula, maybe, rather lovely looking characterful card called Full Blue Moon. Yeah, using the new stamp. And I think it's rather lovely in a mysterious sort of way. Anyway, enough chat from me. Come with me and let me show you how it's done. Right, so we're going to start using some elements. So you get your DL piece of multifarious card and using Elements Ink Blue Atoll and a size 9 stencil brush, just build up your colour from the bottom down. No, from the bottom up, and then go to the top and start building up with the darker colour in the corners and see if you can make them meet down the sides. Now ink up your Thayer with Versafine Clair Nocturne and just work out where you want him to go. I decided to put him a little off centre. Not much though. And then ink up your topper stamp in Versafine Clair Nocturne and make sure it sits on his head. Probably sounds like a really silly thing to say, but it needs to feel like it actually is sitting there. Now we're inking up the monocle in Versafine Clair Nocturne. And one over one eye, and we're going for glasses, so one over the other. But try and do it so that it's just that little bit lower than the eye. This is the moustache stamp, one of the sides, and you want the side that flicks out. And I'm inking it up in Versafine Clair Pinecone. And just doing first and second generation stamping here so that you get a variety of colour. Don't be afraid, grab a piece of multifarious card and block the bits you don't want the moustache stamp to sit on. Okay. So you can stamp off on that card as well, like I'm doing there, to get a lighter shade. Now you can always muck about with his hair a bit later, adding more or less. We might do a little bit more later on. So you pick up the other side of the stamp, of the moustache stamp, so that you've got your hair flicking out again in the other direction. We're going for a sort of Farrah Fawcett type look. From about the 70s, for those of you that wonder what I'm talking about. And this is the sort of thing where you'll look at it and think, oh, no, I need to add more. As you can probably tell, I just kept adding until I was comfortable. Now, that is the beardy bit. And again, that's in Versafine Clair Pinecone and just added to the end of his chin. Right, so grab your monocle stamp from the Thayer set and using the Brilliance Dewdrop Galaxy Gold, ink them up again and just go over where the monocle was before. Now I've used Versafine Clair Warm Breeze for that feather, and we're going to the bird stamp set. That's in Versafine Clair Nocturne, and I'm having it perched. It's the one that looks a bit like a crow or a raven on the top of his hat. Now using a Posca pen gold, I'm just going to add the bridge of the nose to the glasses and the arms at the side. Now we look at the moon. So grabbing a large circle mask, I am just going to use my stencil brush size 9, why that is skew if I don't know, and some Elements Ink Blue Atoll, just to build up my shadow around it really. And that's using Versafine Clair Dark Denim, but only a smidge. You don't want too much. Okay. Clothing. It's always good to wear clothing. So I've gone for the Dreamscape papers. And I've gone for a blue. And I'm just bippity-boppity gluing it into place. Now, if you were like me, I just thought, oh, I'm going to go with the idea of 1980s shoulder pads. So that's why they look quite out there. But that's all you're doing, just getting a good line out. Because it's so low on the card, it'll overhang and then you can clip it accordingly. Now, it might look a little bit odd, but we're going to work that out. I've just flicked some bits of water over my card and just using a piece of kitchen towel or paper towel, I'm just blotting them off once they've worked their magic, which gives us lovely variation in colour. So I'm using the water spray bottle to do exactly the same thing, and that gives me smaller blotches, if you like. Right, that was the remains of dark denim on my size 9 stencil brush, and I just ran that over the Dreamscapes shoulder pads. Now this is Elements Ink Dark Denim on a size 9 stencil brush, and we're just starting at the bottom and building up. Now you can see I've gone to the top corners as well. This is because I know what I'm doing. She says. No, it's because I want a darker place so that I can put some silver on top and it will look lovely. You know you need a darker colour for something light on top so that it really sets it off. And that is my plan. That is why the dark denim has come out to play. And I'm just running it up and down the sides as well. This is a bit of Elements Ink Merlot because, you know, you can have a little bit too much blue and it helps to just have another colour to give it a bit more interest. So adding some water to my Elements Ink Merlot, I'm just adding some colour under Thayer's eyes, under his chin and under his nose. Just a tiny bit of shadow, not too much. And that is the same again, just down the stripes. Now this is the glittery orange Posca pen, and I'm just following the lines of the moustache stamp. And what I'll do is I will build this colour up and then we will stamp on top again. But you're not having to draw anything as such, you are following a line. Okay, adding some more of that colour, but this time for the lenses rather than to under the eyes. So this is the glittery purple Posca with a bit of water, and I'm using a watercolour brush from Watercolour Set 1. And again, adding some of that glittery Posca to the hat too. So using VersaFine Clair Nocturne, I'm using the moustache stamp just to add a little bit of something else on top of that orange Posca. I think it just lifts it, don't you? Using the Posca pen Aqua Green, I'm just going round the eyelets and I've put a blob on my craft mat just by pushing the pen down, added a little bit of water, and I'm going round the hat band, adding a little bit of interest to that feather too. And down the other stripes. And if you ever think anything is too much, don't be afraid of grabbing your paper towel and just taking it off. Now, foliage frame. This is the Brilliance Dewdrop Platinum Planet and the Woodland stamp set. And these are fantastic twiggy-like pieces, not like the model Twiggy from the 60s, twig-like stamps that just are going to start our stamp frame off. There we go. Look at that against that dark blue. So I'm just inking it up. These are quite juicy, so just use it sparingly. This is the twisted, but the vine branch set. And that's the branch. So I'm just going to add another bit to the other side. Doesn't that look ethereal? Not spooky, but sort of atmospheric. I like that. Just adding another bit of the branch there. And a little bit down the bottom, because it, sometimes just using something of a different shape softens softens the frame. Now this is Full Moon, a stamp. There's Posca pen white, and that's just going round the ridges of the rims of the glasses, and just adding highlights to the feather, and an eye to the bird, and highlights to the hat ribbon. And as you can see, I'm putting stuff on and then using my finger to swipe in the direction that I want them to go. The trick with that is not to put too much Posca on. A little dot goes a long way, you know. So that's versifying Claire Nocturne. He's getting a moustache. Oh, hurrah. Remember to put the right one on the right way. There we go, inking up. Changes him all over again, doesn't it? So that is a little bit of Posca pen gold, and I'm just adding a few dots to his beard and down his beard plait. A few touches along the side of his flicks. So that's Posca pen black with a little bit of water that I popped on my craft mat, and I'm just giving a little bit of shadow underneath our friendly bird. Now grab your stencil brush size 9 and your black or your white Posca, and put your Posca pen underneath and tap it with your stencil brush, and you will get a few splatters, and they add to the atmosphere. Add some more highlights to the rims of the glasses if you think they haven't shown up enough for you, and add some shading. That's just Posca pen, black Posca pen with a little bit of water, and just making his hair look a little thicker. So with my black Posca pen, I'm just going underneath the bits that, if you like, should be in shadow. You can do as much or as little as you like of this, but it can just help. And if you do it while it's still wet, you can get your paintbrush to it and just move it so it doesn't look quite as harsh as a pen line does. It softens it, is what I'm trying to say. So what do you think? I like the way this is coming along. A little bit more shading under that bird. And my friends, you did it. Well done. That was certainly different, wasn't it? He came out looking quite like John Lennon. But I'm rather pleased. I'm rather pleased with the way he turned out, old bean, I am. Yes, I am. I'm loving the different shades of blues and the touches of purple, and then those glasses, using the monocle to make glasses. Fab fun. Oh, the fun you can have with these stamps. And the moustache for hair, pure genius. Love it. Absolutely loving the Farrah Fawcett flicks of the hair. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you very much for coming along and keeping me company. I hope maybe you might have a go. Anyway, if you've got any comments you'd like to make about this craft, please pop them in the post below, and I will do my very best to get back in touch with you as soon as I possibly can. But in the meantime, have fun and happy crafting. Bye.